girl want to take him in her arms and...
Welcome to the 2023 commencement celebration for Aspen Valley High School. My name is Don Hunkinen. We are excited to have you join us for Aspen Valley High School's graduation and first at the beautiful Falcon Club on the United States of America at Air Force Academy. Please stand if able, remove your hats, and join us in the saying Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Don has attended Aspen Valley campus since middle school, and he plans to go to Pikes Peak State College to study science. Welcome to Aspen Valley's 27th graduation ceremony. I am Robin Koldenhoven, principal of Aspen Valley campus. We are thrilled to be celebrating with our seniors, their families, staff, and our dignitaries. What a beautiful venue, and we hope you are honored by your surroundings. Pumas, let me be the first to officially congratulate you. This day, this event, they are all about you and your family. We want to acknowledge your outstanding accomplishments, reflect on the last several years, and dream about how each of you will make the world a better place in the future. Today, we will share some laughs, maybe some tears, and show plenty of gratitude for the opportunity we have had to work with you. Speaking of gratitude, we have several groups to thank for their support, including the District 20 Board of Education, District 20 Administration, and the staff of Aspen Valley. On the stage with me is the Board of Education. To my left, I have Mr. Tom LaValle, the president. Mr. Will Temby, vice president. Mrs. Heather Cloninger, treasurer. Mr. Aaron Salt, director. Mrs. Nicole Cons, director and AVC, I'm sorry, Will Timby is the AVC liaison, but Ms. Nicole Cons is the director. And Colonel William Sullivan, USAFA liaison, he is not able to meet with us tonight. We also have joining us today Academy District 20 Administration, to include Dr. Jim Smith, Assistant Superintendent. J. Thomas Gregory, Superintendent. And on the far, far left is my right-hand person, the campus administrator, Ryan Bailey. Sitting in our audience is the hardworking, ever-dedicated Aspen Valley staff. Pumas, I think you will agree with me when I offer that our staff is the best part of Aspen Valley. Staff, we'd like to acknowledge you for the tremendous contribution to these students. Please stand, if you would, and wave and let us show you some Aspen Valley love. This is what we call the Aspen Valley Village. Thank you so much. I do have a few specific staff members to further recognize as they've made a special contribution to this graduating class. Let me introduce our senior wranglers. These community members are more than just the sponsors of any class. They are wranglers because they have roped, prodded, and led students throughout the year to this point today. Please stand. Thank you to Ms. Chris Martin, our school counselor. Mr. Seth Burney, social studies teacher. Mr. Joe Crick, work-based learning teacher. Ms. Teresa McDonough, English teacher. And running around behind the scenes is who we call Mama Joe, Miss Joanne Fletcher, administrative assistant. Pumas, you also have family and friends here today who have supported you, maybe wrangled you as well, but who have been with you throughout your school and your entire adolescent journey. These people are your greatest supporters and will continue to be there for you for the rest of your life, long past today. Take a minute, please, seniors. Stand up, find your people, and blow them a kiss or give them a wave. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tom Gregory, the Superintendent of Academy School District 20. Mr. Gregory joined the Academy District 20 staff in 1991 as a middle school math teacher at Challenger Middle School. Shortly after, he transferred to Rampart High School, where he served for 11 years as a math teacher, math department co-chair, football coach, softball coach, baseball coach, and finally as the Rampart High School's assistant principal and athletic director for 4 of those 11 years. In 2009, Mr. Gregory became our chief financial officer and served in the capacity until 2016, when he added the duties of deputy superintendent, along with being the CFO. In 2019, Mr. Gregory was named the superintendent of Academy School District 20. Mr. Gregory earned his master's degree in educational leadership and his principal licensure from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. He earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics and his secondary school teacher licensure from the University of Southern Colorado. Please welcome Mr. Gregory.
Well, thank you, Ms. Coldenhoven, and good morning, Aspen Valley High School. And congratulations to our graduates and to all the family members out there, because you've all made it here at the same time today. Today is a big day. After 13 years in school, you're closing the first biggest chapter in your lives. Normally, I would stand here and say, I can only imagine how you must be feeling. Because let's face it, it's been a while since I graduated from high school. However, this year, graduation ceremonies take on a whole new meaning for me, because I am graduating with you. Not from high school, but after 33 years in education, I too am graduating. I'm graduating from my career. On June 30, I will officially graduate after retiring from a fulfilling career as an educator in Academy School District 20. So, this year, as I stand here before you, making my final graduation speech, and this truly is the final graduation speech, I think we may share some of the same feelings. Over the past week, I've experienced a host of emotions. I've been excited, I've been anxious, I've been eager, I've been nervous, and I've been exhausted, and ready to turn off the alarm clock and sleep in. Maybe you have experienced some of these same feelings. But when I'm not thinking about how great it will feel to sleep in, I find myself doing a lot of reflecting on the past year and reflecting on the past 33 years. Graduation day is certainly a day of celebration, but I think it's also a natural day for all of us to reflect, including those of you in the audience today. When I reflect on the past 33 years of work in education, I realize that in that time I've learned a lot and I've experienced a lot. I've been impacted by thousands of people. You too, in your 13 years of school, have learned and experienced a lot and have been impacted by many people. And I imagine you have also impacted many people. Our experiences could fill books. However, if I could go back, I would say thank you more often. Specifically, I would say thank you to one person that I never said thank you to, probably inappropriately at the time, Miss Flory. Miss Flory was one of my high school math teachers. She not only made math interesting and fun, she made me feel confident in my mathematical knowledge and abilities. And believe me, my mathematical knowledge and abilities at that time were average at best. But she believed. She was passionate about math, but delivered her instruction with compassion and care for students. She taught me that math was important, but it was not the most important. Little did she or I know at the time that I would go on to pursue math as an undergraduate and finish with a degree in mathematics. So today I say thank you to Miss Flory, one of my high school teachers. Miss Flory is one person I wish I had thanked years ago. I have so many more people to thank for their impact on me, but I'll spare you that time. You get the idea. I urge you to take time before 40 years pass to show gratitude to the special people in your lives. So today I encourage you to move forward with gratitude. Thank all of those who support you, encourage you, and lift you up. Not only will it make them feel great, but it will also make you feel great. In fact, research shows gratitude has several benefits. Living a life of gratitude improves overall health. Grateful people experience fewer aches and pains. Grateful people sleep better and feel more rested. And maybe most importantly, those who spread thanks and share gratitude report lower levels of stress, higher levels of self-esteem, and make and keep friends easier. It's hard to argue with these benefits. Cultivating gratitude, or what I'd like you to think of as developing an attitude of gratitude, is one of the most overlooked tools in our toolbox. The simple act of saying thank you is mutually beneficial and will lead you to a happier and more successful life. My reflections in the past weeks also reminded me to keep the most important things in life at the forefront and not let the little things dominate time or treasure. So I will close with a short story adapted from a college classroom that I think best summarizes this concept. So you got to visualize with me here. A teacher stood before her class and had some items in front of her. She silently picked up a very large, empty mayonnaise jar and filled it with golf balls. She then asked the students in the classroom if the jar was full. Of course, as you probably would now, they said, yes, the jar is full. The teacher then picked up a box of small pebbles, poured those pebbles in the jar, gave the jar a gentle shake. The pebbles rolled in between the open areas between the golf balls, and she asked the students again if the jar was full. And as you are probably doing right now, they said, yes, the jar is full. The teacher next picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar, gave it a gentle shake, and as you're probably visualizing, that sand is now flowing through the jar, filling up the remaining voids. She asked one more time if the jar was full. Students again, this time with a little bit more vigor and frustration, said, yes, the jar is full. Now, said the teacher, I want you to imagine that this jar represents your life. The golf balls represent the most important things: your family, your health, your faith, your friends, your passions, and everything else. And if everything else was lost and only the golf balls remained, your life as the jar would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like school, your home, your job, or your career. And the sand represents everything else, what we'll call the smaller stuff. Now think about what would happen if you filled the jar first with sand. There would be no room left for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all of your time and energy on the small stuff, you'll never have room for the things that are most important. Pay attention to the little things that are critical to your happiness. Spend time with siblings. Spend time with your parents. Spend time with your faith. Visit with friends. How about taking your grandparents to dinner? Or sometimes just play another 18. Most importantly, thank a special person for being special. There will always be time for the small stuff. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter, the things that you will always be grateful for. Set your priorities, because the rest is just sand. Congratulations, graduates. I thank you today for allowing me to share in your celebration. Go forth and make your mark on this world. Most of all, keep what is most important the priority, and live your life with an attitude of gratitude. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. Be well and be safe. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Gregory. At this point, I'm going to introduce Brandon Tolentino, if he will start making his way up to the podium. At each graduation, members of the senior class are asked if they would like to speak for their own graduation. And we had 3 seniors step up. Brandon has attended Aspen Valley since middle school. He has served on student council and plans to attend UCCS to study electrical engineering this fall. So please welcome Brandon.
Thank you. Hello, sorry. Hello, Aspen Valley and friends. I'm Brandon, or some of you may know me. Brando, Bandon, or the great Brandini. I came to Aspen Valley in 7th grade due to my struggles in a typical large school. This school gave me the opportunity to come out of my shell and meet people who I'm still friends with to this day. Because of Aspen Valley, I went from failing almost every single class in my early middle school years to being one of the top of my graduating class. I would describe the past 4 years as a big series of ups and downs, but instead of looking like a fun roller coaster, it looks more like climbing Mount Everest than plummeting straight back to the ground. Repeatedly. But they have been the best 4 years of my life. I met some of my best friends at this school, and I wouldn't be standing up here without them. My entire class has been through their own series of ups and downs, some rougher than mine and some smoother. But we all have a story to tell and experiences that we have learned from and will keep learning from. We're going to be completely on our own for the first time after this day, and I think that Aspen Valley has set us up in a way that no other school could. The future holds a lot, not only for me, but for everyone here. Some of us are moving away, some are going to college, some are not, but I know that all of us will be fine. Most of us probably aren't going to talk to each other very much, if not at all, after we graduate, but each and every one of us have made a huge impact on each other, and that can't be said for any other high school. After today, all of us are going to go through another huge series of ups and downs. We might even have a massive string of failures, but if there's one thing I've learned from my time at Aspen, it's that failure only makes us stronger. I know that all of us will find a way to persevere and succeed, no matter what your definition of success is. And as an ending note, I would like to share one of my favorite quotes from the American comedy author Jack Handy. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Our next speaker is Trinity Shook. Trinity will make her way up. Trinity has attended Aspen Valley since 9th grade. She plans to attend Pikes Peak State College to study art this fall. Welcome, Trinity.
So if I hesitate, I apologize in advance. Hello parents, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I'm Trinity Shook, a student who worked hard to be behind this very podium today. I've been at Aspen Valley since my freshman year, and it has been a long journey to get this far. For a long time, I never thought I'd be able to even graduate, let alone to be able to give out a speech. I'm sure a lot of people sitting here today have thought the same about themselves. Senior year in particular has been quite an eventful year for all of us, from high school events such as homecoming and prom to personal events in our lives that have had a massive effect on who we are today. Being able to receive a diploma and to have the chance to do great things in the world is a blessing for me and the people I am here with today. We all have a plethora of goals and dreams that we are looking forward to accomplishing. Throughout the years at Aspen Valley, we have all had input on how we want to change the world and what we would do to achieve these goals. With the opportunity to move forward, we will be able to have a better understanding of the world and what steps to take to be able to fulfill ourselves and the world around us. Our generation has a lot of work to get done in order to complete these things. However, I believe that we are capable of achieving it. For a long time, we have been underestimated and told that we were too incompetent to be able to run in a society like this one. However, we are willing to do what it takes to prove these people wrong. I have experienced similar things in my childhood, and I was told that I was not likely to get my diploma. My grades were bad, and my procrastination and low motivation would usually get the best of me. However, I was still able to push myself and to tell myself that I am capable of achieving wonderful things. However, I can't be the only one to give that credit to. I also have to thank my friends and family for being able to give me motivation and encouragement. Without you guys, I wouldn't know where I'd be right now. I would also like to say kudos to the friends and family of everyone else in the senior class. It has taken lots of pushing and reassurance for these fellow students to be in the same position I am in today. As a mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, or grandparent, it must be an honor for you guys to have someone in your family to be able to achieve this amazing milestone in their life, and to have a reason to make this day so special. These kids deserve the world, and they wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Thanks to everyone for all that you do. It's an important reminder to let you all know that you are loved and cared for, and so incredibly special to the lives of these students. I have so much hope that my fellow graduates and I will be able to send forth dedication and any special talents that they have to the world, and that we are able to make the absolute best of what the world can possibly offer. Though there are lots of terrible things that are currently happening in today's society, we must consider ourselves lucky to be given the opportunity to change it. Soon enough, underestimation and excessive criticism will have little effect on us, and we will hopefully be able to push through all of it and to continue doing what we do. Finally, I would like to thank everyone for the memories. Even though there were many instances where things went wrong, there were also many wonderful, unforgettable moments that I wouldn't trade the world for. Thank you to everyone at Aspen Valley who made the years worthwhile. It gives me many great things to look back on, and it gives me the opportunity to tell some interesting stories. And now, I quote a witty statement from someone who went to school here in Colorado Springs, and someone a lot of us know and love. I only ask that people remember me by 2 simple words. Any 2, as long as they're simple. From Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Trinity. They'll have you drop this one. Thank you. Nicely done. I think I bumped your hat. Nicely done, Trinity. Our last speaker has been at Aspen Valley since middle school. Jonah, if you'll make your way up here. Jonah Janish. He plans to take a gap year while working. Please welcome Jonah.
Oh, what's up? I'm Jonah. I was around the age of 13 when I first started at Aspen. I was a very different person. Before I came to Aspen, I was trying to be someone that I was not. One thing that Aspen did for me was help break me out of that shell. The minute I realized I did not have to act like someone I was not at Aspen Valley was when I met my best friend, Darius Barron. I learned to have fun at Aspen Valley in more of a public setting. It was the first time I could really be myself. Like in 8th grade, when people rolled me in a tire into the parking lot of the high school. I'm sure, Mr. T, if you're out there, you remember getting me in trouble for that. Or the time when me and Darius started a fight club in the bathroom. 3 times, actually. That was a pretty current thing. I can't tell most of my stories from Aspen Valley because they're not entirely appropriate to this setting. My favorite story, though, is when we were playing a game on this, wood panel. We were wrestling on it, and we all got in trouble because, 6 kids got hurt. And then there was the time when me and Julian got kicked out of the movie theater for throwing slushies at each other. There was also that time when me and Darius got suspended because we were playing basketball, and it just turned into us fighting. Physically fighting. Just a little context behind that. Darius was holding the ball over my head, saying, "Does the little boy want the ball?" Things devolved from there. There was one time where we were at the duck pond up by our school, and me and Scott Conroy were messing around, and somehow that turned into Scott getting into a fist fight with a goose. Everyone looked over to see Scott running with the goose in his hands and making loud noises. I've learned a lot of lessons at Aspen Valley, like don't fight geese or Darius's. I know that me and my friends have chased a lot of teachers out of this building with our behavior. Our 8th grade English teacher even told us that we were the worst class she had ever seen in her 20 years of teaching. But this set of teachers from this year, we tried to chase them out, like we did every other teacher, but they didn't give up on us. Mr. Burney, for instance, has called me. What? Oh, has called me, and despite, what the heck am I writing here? I'm just going to wing this paragraph. Mr. Burney has called me on a lot of my stuff, gave me some of the realest talks I've ever had, and I really needed them that 4th extra. Fisher is one of the few teachers that we could not chase out, despite being here since even before we got into 7th grade. Mr. Fisher is a trooper, is what I'm saying. An absolute tank. The first time I met Mr. Fisher, it was because he was yelling at me and Julian for wrestling on the floor of the middle school. I've had a lot of fun going to Aspen Valley. I'm sad to go, even though on the first few weeks I tried to chase some of the teachers out. I'm going to miss them a lot. Mr. Joe, thank you for being the most fun teacher I've ever had. I appreciate that. We can play Xbox. We can still play Xbox together. Thank you, Mr. Burney, for smacking me in the back of the head, figuratively, when I most needed it. Thank you, Miss Aarons, for letting me say what I wanted, even though you probably didn't approve of a lot of it. Thank you, Miss McDonough and Miss Shane. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. For forcing me to get my work done. But also thank you, Miss McDonough, for putting up with all of my stuff. Thank you for not yelling at me for throwing squishy animals on your ceiling moments after you told me not to. Thank you, Miss Chris, for listening to me, quote-unquote, express myself. Thank you, Miss Wasserman and Mr. Fisher, for being W teachers. And to all the people I've met over these 6 years, for starters, I'm sorry for everything you have endured from me. Sorry, Ryder and Brandon, for that one high five. Only you will know the context of that. I'm sorry for the magic trick. This is where I'll wrap it up. We're finally done. Later.
The always funny and interesting perspectives from Jonah. Thank you very much. I think I remember a few of those suspensions. Before we confer diplomas, I too would like to share a few thoughts about these fine Pumas here sitting in front of us. Over the last few years we've had together. Aspen Valley, class of 2023, I am honored to be standing here celebrating with you and your family and reminiscing with you about the last few years, some interesting years to be sure. Pumas, you have navigated your school journey well and have accomplished more in the last 4 years than typical graduating classes have. I could not be any prouder of you. Like your family, your teachers and I are your historians. We've watched you grow up and have fond memories of earlier days, as shared here already. Let's help others in our audience and the Board of Education to get to know you just a little bit better. How many of you have been at Aspen Valley and attending since 7th grade? Will you please stand up? Stay standing. Like in your home, we have pictures of you on our walls back at the middle school. Remember how cute you were back then? How many of you have been at Aspen Valley since 8th grade? Will you please join your standing classmates? Since 9th grade? Since 10th grade? And since 11th grade? You may all sit down. We are definitely one big family. Wait for it. We are thrilled to have walked beside you all these years. You are a part of the Puma family, a family that was established almost 30 years ago, long before middle school. We have another unique group of Pumas. Although much smaller, they were the ones left seated. This group is equally special even though they didn't grow up at Aspen. Stand if you came to us during your last 12th grade year of high school. These few graduates spent more of their formative years in other schools, but decided that even during their last year of public secondary education, they wanted something different. Like the rest of you, they wanted somewhere where they could truly belong, a school that could be called their own. You three are equally a part of the Puma family. We only wish you had found us sooner. Whether it be years ago, all of these graduates chose Aspen Valley to be their school path towards a diploma. They applied and interviewed and committed themselves to higher accountability, extra graduation requirements, and tougher expectations. These students at Aspen Valley, as diverse as they are, do still have a lot in common with one another. Aspen students all thrive when in close relationships with a teacher and with each other, and with more support in the classroom, as you can see already. Additionally, all of you have benefited from a variety of interventions to find school success. Like it or not, for example, all of you toted around our daily planner and had to earn a minimum point percentage every class, every day, every year. Learning executive functioning skills like organization will be helpful in your future, even if you didn't like it. Stand up one more time if you also grew up out of that same planner expectation and qualified for a planner waiver. As it should be. Well done. Well done. You have established your own self-regulation routine without us hovering over you. Additionally, over the last semester, year or years, all of you measured and were held accountable for your daily attendance. Showing up is half the battle, and it is one of the greatest employability skills that we stress. The bar was set at 90% or better every Hexter. Some of you even regularly hit 100%. This commitment will be recognized at your next place of employment. Thank you for even just showing up. Another unifying component of Aspen Valley students is that none of you earned credit for a D at any of our high school classes. These students all here earned all of their 50 credits with C's or higher. And some of you managed to earn A's while at Aspen Valley, all A's. And an Aspen Valley tradition is to honor our top academic graduates with their photo in the lobby and an honor cord for today. Luke, Emily, Brandon, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for your academic prowess. If all of these high stakes weren't enough, then we really started to lean in and push you for greater accomplishments. Most people forget that we're not just a school of second chances, but we're a school where we push and we push and we expect more. Standing here today means you have successfully completed your first college class. Successfully. We hope that many of you will go on to earn a degree or a trade certification and know that you took your first steps with all the support here. Aspen Valley Pumas, they enter their next stage in life ready to contribute in a meaningful way to the greater community by receiving your CPR certification, completing 180 hours of work experience, and donating 72 hours of your time to our community. We all benefit. Well done, Pumas. Well done. No other academy school, District 20, requires all of that. We believe this class and all in the Aspen Valley family to be better prepared to navigate post-secondary life than most. As one of your historians, I have been reflecting on the last 4 years with you together, as I've served as your school principal. Like Mr. Gregory, this is my last year as well, and like Mr. Gregory, I started categorizing and thinking back to all of our shared memories together, accomplishments and experiences. Like Mr. Gregory, some of you have seen that jar of rocks that is on my desk. Off script here, I talked to staff about that. I did a little experiment one time in Puma with that very thing, putting rocks and sand and water and so forth. I will tell you, after 30 years, that jar has lost all of its water and it's gotten moldy. So just warning, if that's symbolic of life, I don't know. But it is true, right? All of our memories, it's important to kind of think about how you want to prioritize. I'm looking backwards, Pumas, and I have put our memories into a bucket called more of, a bucket called first of, and a bucket called last ofs. And you would think that we've had a lot of last of memories, but there have been plenty that are first ofs. For many of you, you were my first group of freshmen to welcome me to the high school. I still remember interviewing many of you. For those of you who have been here for my 4 years, we have seen the first of torch assemblies, the creation of Thomas Park, and the Grove, and the first of Friday community meetings together. You were also the first ofs to wear our new logo, to take American Sign Language instead of Spanish. After us, I hope there will be many more of haunted houses during homecoming, Hogwarts competition during assessment week, and game nights with prison time. Because of our unique size, we can share memories of specific individuals, and we all will remember. Maddie Schmenk, you are the first of, and I expect we will have many more of, NOP students to join our community full-time. The 22-23 school year was the first year of the merger of two non-traditional schools in Academy School District 20, Aspen Valley Campus and the New Opportunities Program. We like to think of ourselves as the proverbial one-stop shop for alternative schooling options, full-time, part-time, online credit classes, GED services, and junior high school options. Maddie, thank you for pioneering that crossover for us. Lou Caramillo, you are the first graduate to have petitioned your work towards a private pilot license to count as equal to the graduation requirement of one college course. Wow. I hope we have more of that kind of thinking and alternatives to the traditional, albeit non-traditional, college class requirement at Aspen Valley. Brandon Tolentino, Maddie Schmenk, Nick Knutson, and Luke Caramillo, you were all a part of our first of esports team in the district. And you kicked butt, ending up 16th out of 68 nationwide. Thank you. Ryder Creel. You are one of the first of Aspen Valley graduates to have been a state qualifying athlete 2 years in a row and a Pikes Peak Athletic Conference Diver of the Year while going to college, while finishing up high school. Are you working too? And then that. We wish you luck at Virginia Military Institute. This is the first of graduation where our entire community of educators and staff has joined us. We've not had that before. Staff, please stand up if this is your first Aspen Valley graduation. This, of course, is my last of, but I hope our teachers will be here for many more ofs for our future senior classes. Hopefully, we have all seen the last of hybrid learning due to a pandemic. You have all had your last of parent-teacher conferences, last time raising your hand for permission to go to the bathroom, or last of nasty grams for breakfast club for not making planner points, or Saturday school harassment to get the work done so you'll graduate on time. Amen to all of that, right? Graduates, this will be your 1st of August without the requirement of returning to compulsory public schooling. What are you going to choose more of in your future? What are your first ofs coming up? Are you going to choose more of small, non-traditional communities like this one? Are you going to look for more of places in our society where you can be recognized but equally challenged? The days of struggle, frustration, and loneliness aren't over, as Trinity said. Unfortunately, more of those days will come in and out of life. But what lessons, what strategies did high school, your Aspen Valley teachers, your mentors, staff members, your family, what have they taught you about managing those situations? Will you be looking for more of mentors, more positive friends, more healthy activities to surround yourself with? Will you experience the first of time walking into your dorm room or onto a military installation or your first of apartment? Personally, I look forward to the first time, at least in a long time, experiencing August as an equal month of summer and traveling outside of school holidays. It is likely that today might be the last of times that you and your peers will be together. This is likely the last of time staff may see many of you, although we hope not. High school often tends to be some of the last of times where you are so well known, so well celebrated, so overly supported and loved and encouraged by a committed group of devoted people committed to your success. Let's soak these last of moments up. I will remember our last of career days, our last community service days, our field trips, our proms. Did you get a yearbook to remember all the class time memories, your goofy classmates, and our loving staff members? Be sure to take some pictures today, get each other's contact information, follow each other on social media. Remember that it is the people in your life always that will always be what you remember the most of. Class of 2023, go forth and do great things. It has been my privilege to share time and space, good times and hard times, in this crazy little school called Aspen Valley. Here's to you. And now, Mr. Temby. It is with great pride that I present to you the members of the class of 2023. I hereby certify that these young adults have met the requirements for an Academy School District 20 diploma and have gone far beyond that to fulfill Aspen Valley graduation requirements. I recommend them for their diplomas.
On behalf of the Board of Education of Academy School District 20, I accept with pride and pleasure the 2023 graduating class of Aspen Valley High School. Mrs. Koldenhoven, thank you, your faculty, and your staff for an outstanding job.
All right, Pumas and staff, it is now time to move into position for the distribution of diplomas. Please give us a minute to get ready. While we're still getting in position, we are forming what we call the hug line. So staff is over there prepared. And please be patient as our last student, of course, needs to go through that hug line just the same. So we'll have a pause there at the end before our last student gets back to their seat. It is a high honor and a thrill for anyone to read graduates' names and their tributes. This year, the senior class has chosen Mrs. Teresa McDonough. This is Mrs. McDonough's first year at Aspen Valley, but has quickly become a go-to confidant for many of our students and a fantastic English teacher. Mrs. McDonough, I now present to you the Aspen Valley High School class of 2023. Enjoy the honor of announcing these fine graduates' names. Board and administration and seniors, it is now time for the distribution of diplomas, and please enjoy the pictures behind.
Thank you, Ms. Koldenhoven. Graduates, it is truly my honor and my privilege to call your names and speak your words as you walk across the stage today. Katie Lynn Alford. Kat would like to thank her mom and Mr. Fisher. Brian Andrew Ballard. Brian would like to thank Miss Aarons for teaching him skills that he'll actually need for life, unlike most of his other classes. He'd also like to thank his dad for encouraging him to finish all his schoolwork and OCR. He's really glad he's graduating on time. He was getting really worried the last few hexters, but it all worked out. He'd like to thank Mrs. McDonough for encouraging him to do his work, even if he didn't do it during Puma, and Miss Chris for giving him lots of extra opportunities. Darius Elijah Barron. Darius would like to thank his friends and family, especially Jonah, for being so supportive through all of high school. Thanks especially to Mr. Burney. Throughout all of his years of school, Darius never felt a connection with a teacher who stuck with him and appreciated him quite like Mr. Burney. It means a lot that Burney was always there, whether it was work or just to talk. Cypress Leanne Marie Block. Cypress says, "Thank you, Mr. Burney, for being so helpful through my senior year. It's been a rough year, but you've really helped me through it. Thank you so much." Braden Wallace Brown. Braden would like to thank the 13 other seniors who've been here since 7th grade, the teachers who treated him like an adult and inspired him to be who he is today, and everyone else who's been there for him. Ryder Cooper DeFrance Creel. Ryder would like to thank his mom and dad, both sets of grandparents, and all the teachers and staff at Aspen Valley. Michael Samuel Evans. Michael would like to thank his family and friends for their support in helping him make it to graduation. He would like to thank his parents. Michael says the only reason he's receiving this diploma is because of the push they have given him. He would also like to thank his teachers, especially Miss McDonough, for giving him the extra help that he needed. He is very grateful and glad he could achieve his diploma, and he wants all of you to know that getting his diploma is just another step in life towards success. Jamie Lee Gare. Jamie would like to thank her parents, including both her stepdad and stepmom. Jamie says, "You all have always been there when I needed help, whether it be an assignment or just some extra motivation." Kara Ann Harkins. Kara would like to thank her parents and teachers for helping her get through school. Special thanks to Mr. Burney and Mr. Fisher for being so cool and teaching her so much. Don Antero Honkanen. Don would like to thank his dad for encouraging him every step of the way, and his mom for being a gentle heart and a fierce advocate. Mr. Fisher for giving him the skill of critical thinking, Ms. McDonough for entertaining and intellectual classroom discussions, and Mr. Crick, a teacher who is also a friend. Jonah Lewis Janish. Jonah says, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, for putting up with me and helping me get through school." Jonah would like to thank Miss Chris for listening, Miss Aarons for being the only teacher who's ever done good teaching him math, Crick for being fun, and Bernie for yelling at him when he needed it. He also thanks Miss McDonough, Miss Jane, and Miss Horner for helping him pass English and finish his capstone project. He thanks Darius just now. And he says, "Thank you, Batman, for being awesome." Luke Henry Jaramillo. Luke wants to thank his parents, his teachers, and his friends for supporting him through the years and encouraging him to be successful. Nicholas Raphael Knudsen. Nick wants to thank all of his teachers for helping him throughout the year. He wants to thank Chris Martin and Mama Joe for working overtime on translating his transcripts so that he was able to graduate this year. He would like to thank his teachers for supporting him through everything. Nick wants to thank the friends he's made at Aspen Valley. You know who you are. He would like to thank the team for inviting him to join esports. He's also very thankful that he was accepted into Stuco. Aspen Valley feels like a school where he could finally feel at home, even if for only his final year of high school. Thanks, everyone. Alyssa Emma Florence Lee. Alyssa wants to thank her friends that she has made at this school. Every one of you has made an impact on her life. Alyssa says, "You have brought me out of the shell that I was in most of my life." She wants to thank all the staff, but especially Mr. Fisher, Miss Chris, Miss McDonough, and Mr. Wells. They have always looked out for her and made her feel herself. Alyssa thanks her mother for working so hard so that she could get to this point in her life and for being her biggest support system. Alyssa wants to honor her father as she walks across the stage to get her diploma today. Aiden Michael McNabb. Aiden wants to thank his parents for their support throughout his life and for continuing to support him in his academic journey. Without them, he may not have found Aspen Valley, which has truly changed his life. The teachers and staff care about students and make that apparent with their support. Mr. Burney has definitely been a driving force in Aiden's motivation. Miss Chris, while new to ABC, has the skills to inspire success for students to achieve, especially him. Aiden would like to thank Gabe, Alejandro, Matthias, and Aaron for being accomplices in annoying the entire school. Isaac Oscar Ochoa. Isaac wants to thank everyone who helped him along the way. He especially thanks Ms. McDonough, Ms. Chris, and Mr. Burney. Jonathan Miguel Ortiz Coppin. Joe would like to thank his teachers for not giving up on him and his friends for sticking by his side. He wants to thank his brothers for having his back, and he especially wants to thank his mom for always pushing him, because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be here today. Aaron Lawrence Ostermiller Ecord. Aaron wants to thank everybody, Mom, Dad, Mama Joe, Miss Chris, Mr. Burney, Miss McDonough, PG, Mr. Fisher, and Mr. Wells for dealing with him during these many trying years, 6 of them. He appreciates all of you and hopes you are proud of him for succeeding this far. Also, thank you to Aiden and Alejandro for being good friends. Madison Grace Schmink. Maddie wants to thank everybody here. She says, "High school has been like a roller coaster, and everyone has been on this ride with me. Through all of the ups and downs, I have been relieved in knowing that I have the support of what has become my own sort of family. 2 years ago, there was no hope that I would graduate, and now, with the kindness and nurturing of everyone in Aspen, I am not only graduating today, but I have gone above and beyond to achieve Aspen's extra requirements to walk across this stage." A few people Maddie would like to thank in particular are Miss Martin, Miss McDonough, Mr. Wells, and Mr. Crick. The endless support and rant sessions have helped so much along the way. She would also like to thank her dad, who always wants what's best for her. She appreciates it a lot. Maddie is proud to be a graduate of Aspen Valley 2023. Trinity Love Shook. Trinity would like to thank her parents for raising her to be who she is, and her family and friends for pushing her to keep moving forward and allowing her to feel loved and cared for. She wants to thank her teachers for providing her the knowledge needed to succeed in the real world. Without these wonderful people in her life, she would have no idea where she would be today. An important life lesson she has learned from this is that there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and it will come faster than you know. Allowing yourself to appreciate the things in your life will help you to continue to grow stronger, and it will make the process worthwhile. Ryla Renee Jordan Stark. Ryla would like to thank her parents for always being her #1 supporters and her cousins for being the support system she could always fall back on. She thanks Mr. Burney and Miss McDonough for always pushing her to be a better version of herself. Ryla's diploma is dedicated to and in honor of not only herself, but also a lost loved one who never had this opportunity. Brandon Christopher Tolentino. Brandon would like to thank his mom for pushing him to be the best that he could be. He thanks his grandma for supporting him through his struggles in school and helping him get to where he is now. He wants to thank his little sister, Teresa, for being a cool dude. He thanks Mr. Joe for being the best esports coach ever, Miss McDonough for pushing him to be a better writer, Mr. Burney for being someone to talk to, his friends Braden, Emily, and Jamie, and Luke for being the best unpaid intern he could have asked for, and Kira for somehow dealing with him for 4 years. Madison McKell Warren. To begin, Maddie would like to thank her mom and dad for being her constant support and safety net. Maddie wants to thank her friends and family for always being so supportive, and she would like to thank Miss McDonough and Mr. Burney for making her strive to be the best that she can be. She is not only grateful to those mentioned, but also grateful for being able to push herself to make it this far. Julian Diego Zaragoza. Julian would like to thank his family for supporting him and helping him graduate. He would like to thank Ms. McDonough for encouraging him to do all his work and get all of his community service hours and work hours. And thank you to Ms. Ahrens for spending extra time helping him with his algebra OCR. Julian says, "I would not have been able to graduate without either of you." Finally, Julian says thank you to his friends. Landon Noah Zuniga. Landon thanks himself. He is awesome and was only able to get this far because he tried and didn't give up. Although it was difficult and at times he struggled, he realized he is the best person to command success in his life. This is not a joke. He has surprised himself that he has made it this far. Pay attention, because he is not done yet. Thank you to everyone who has helped throughout the years, especially his mother and father, who have always been his solid rock. Landon would also like to appreciate Mr. Fisher for the laughs that made the days more enjoyable, and Mr. Burney for the inspirational quotes that motivated him to higher thinking. Finally, he would like to thank the entire staff, faculty, and administration at Aspen Valley who supported his efforts to achieve greatness.
I want to publicly thank Alyssa Lee for putting this PowerPoint together. Landon, come on down. We're going to give you the last round of applause. Class of 2023, here we go. For the turning of the tassel, I would like to introduce Maddie Warren and Nick Knutson. Maddie, go ahead. Maddie hopes to continue working in retail while attending college online, and Nick started here only just this year and has accomplished more than you can imagine. He plans to work and attend Pikes Peak State College part-time and study information technology. Nick and Maddie.
Okay. Class of 2023, please join us as we move our tassel from the left side and place it on the right. Good job.
Let's let him stand up. Let him stand up. Do it all together.
On the right side.
Stand up.
I'll count us down. Stand up. Stand up.
Do it again. Do it again.
Okay. I don't know. I guess whatever side you guys have it on and turn it to the other side. Do what you need to do. Woo!
That is alternative thinking. Thank you, Nick and Maddie. One more big round of applause for our graduates. We appreciate everyone for being here today to celebrate our small but mighty class of Pumas. We are so proud of you and your accomplishments. Graduates, please remember when you leave here, you're going to meet Mrs. Fletcher before leaving the venue to pick up your diploma, your real one. She will meet you in the staging room, same places where you began. Families, we will meet you out in the lobby afterwards. Class of 2023, you are now dismissed. Please follow the ushers.
25,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, and laughter and strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year in the life